Hello and welcome to Matt's Mosh Pit, and tonight I want to talk to you about a few albums that might have slipped under the radar with all the huge releases in 2025. But before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown me and my channel so far. It truly means a lot, and I could not do this without you. So far, 2025 has just been a crazy year. I can say for me at least, I think I've been sick through most of 2025. I feel like I've gotten every type of flu that has come down the pike, which is really weird because I get a flu shot on a regular basis, so I can't figure it out. But anyway, 2025 for some reason wants me to be sick. So I should apologize ahead of time for my voice. I know it sounds a little bit scratchy, but you know what? We're going to trek on through. So the reason I wanted to do this video is because there's been a ton of big time releases this year so far. We've gotten releases from Ginger, Lacuna Coil, Dream Theater, Majestica, the Halo Effect. There's just been so many different, bands and big bands that, get a lot of the spotlight when it comes to press as far as the releases go. And I know we've got a new one from Spirit Box coming out. Same with Whitechapel and all kinds of good stuff. But anyway, lots of big releases. And so I kind of wanted to give a little bit of shine to the bands that may have kind of fallen under the radar within all of those release periods. And so I had a few albums that pretty much landed on my lap, and I just have actually just thoroughly enjoyed them. So I really wanted to share them with you guys so they didn't get missed or passed over. But anyway, so here goes, folks. So the first band up is called Rats of Gomorrah with the album Infectious Vermin. And this is a band from Germany. It's two guys. It's classified as death metal, just straight up death metal. And so I really didn't know what to expect. And death metal can go very strange for me. There's this really brutal death metal that's just, it's almost too much, where there's no melody or anything like that, which it's not very appealing to me. And then there's death metal that has some melody in it, some different, vibes and whatnot to it. And that totally works for me. So whenever I see something that just says death metal generically, you never really know what you're going to get. And so with this album, I took a waiver on it just, because why not? And so I checked it out, and I have to say it was just thoroughly enjoyable from start to finish. They had all kinds of different elements, there was some thrash elements, there were some old school classic heavy metal elements, along with death metal and just everything. All I can say is it was extremely pleasing to my ears. And so it was one of those bands that I was so happy that I took a waiver on them, because I literally played the album, and I've played it so many times since, and I keep going back to it. So it's an album that I definitely think you guys should check out. Once again, it's, Rats of Gomorrah, Infectious Vermin, and here's a little taste of Swarming Death.
Out of sight. Run, baby, run. We'll make your sleep now. They devour the world. Sailing at you. Run, baby, run from the masculine breath. Feel the world's embrace. Swarming death.
Next up is one of the most surprising albums that I've heard all year. And I should say it's classified as ambient post-black metal. And the band is called Unreqvited, and the album is called A Pathway to the Moon. And Unreqvited is basically, I think it's a one-man band. It's kind of like a Trent Reznor kind of thing, I guess. And the one person their name is Ghost. So I guess there's some mystery there. But it's definitely probably the biggest surprise album that, has landed on my desk, for lack of better terms. I have been kind of dabbling, I guess, into post-black metal a little bit, just to kind of get some footing of what it's all about and whatnot. But I think if you guys have been following the channel, you know that a lot of just black metal in general is a little off-putting to my ears, with the heavy tremolo picking and the screechy vocals and stuff like that. But I'm finding that I think a little bit of that goes a long way. And so This particular album, I took a chance on it, and from the moment I turned it on, I was just amazed. It's got this like amazing, I don't know if it's just I guess it is the ambiance of the whole album. It's just got this cool vibe throughout. And yes, there's songs with some tremolo picking and some screeching and screechy vocals and stuff like that. But the overall vibe is just so chill and cool. And, I guess there's a little bit of an anecdote. As I mentioned before, I've been sick. And when you're sick, you have a lot of free time on your hands because you're basically just laying in bed trying to get better. So I decided to take that opportunity and just listen to a lot of new music and albums that were coming out. And so I put this one on. And most of the time when I'm listening to music, I'll play it pretty loud. And my family will basically just try to ignore it. And usually a lot of them, they make comments about, it being way too heavy, way too aggressive, all that kind of stuff. And my wife came in the room and she was like, "Oh my gosh, what is this? This is fantastic. I love this." And I just wanted to go, "Why, yes, honey, it's post-black metal," But yeah, it was really weird. It's very, I'd say for anybody who wanted to dip their toes into black metal, kind of like me, this would probably be a perfect album or a gateway album. And I'm sure there's going to be some black metal aficionados out there that are saying you're not even close. This is more like Sleep Token than it is true black metal. But, for me, I feel like it's a great gateway into that. But it just had like the coolest vibe to it. And I couldn't tell you how many times I listened to it. I've literally, when I'm just feeling like a cool vibe, I put this album on. So it's definitely one that I haven't really seen anybody talk about it. And it's kind of weird because Unrequited, this is the 7th album from him/them. I don't know however we want to say it. But anyway, so they've been around for a while. But this one's fantastic, and I definitely want to go check out more from them. But anyway, with that being said, I'm going to give you a little taste. This is a song called Star Forger. You should definitely check it out. Last but not least is a doom sludge band from Seattle called Year of the Cobra. They just released their self-titled album, Year of the Cobra. And it kind of, the reason why I checked it out was because I don't know that I know any doom sludge bands. Like, I don't really know what constitutes as sludge other than I can only imagine, and then just doom sludge. So I was just kind of curious, and once again I was sick, so I was just checking out anything. And so this one actually just kind of surprised me because it sounded good, and so I wanted to go check them out. So I went on YouTube to see what they were all about, and I found out that it's basically 2 people. It's a female vocalist who plays bass and then a male drummer. So that's it. Like, there's literally bass guitar and drums. There's no, 6-string guitars. There's no keyboards. There's no nothing. It's literally bass and drums. And I thought that was so fascinating. And it's so cool that they can create such interesting, good music with just a bass guitar and drums. And so it's super cool from that perspective. So I definitely wanted to highlight them because, once again, I didn't see much, on them. So I figured, I want to be able to share that with you guys. My only concern with them, I think, is the fact that they really are limited by the fact that they literally only have a bass and drum. And I'm only saying this for like future projects. It's, this album is actually really good, all things considered. But I do think, like, in the future, I would, I don't know if they have plans to add guitars or they just want to keep the novelty of bass and drums going, I just don't really know how far you can go. Like, I know there's all kinds of like ways to like modify the bass sound and tone and stuff. So maybe they've got, a plan for years and years to come. But anyway, I found it to be extremely interesting. And I know in my audience, I have some bass players out there. So you guys, if you haven't checked them out, check out Year of the Cobra so you can see what it's all about. It is kind of cool that they're giving bass players some shine, or the drummers for that matter. So it's, there's those jokes about like, it seems like the bass players and the drummers get the least respect out of like bands. These guys are basically on the forefront going, look at us. So anyway, definitely check out Year of the Cobra. Here's a little taste of them. And the song is called War Drop. Okay, so those are the albums that I think you should check out. You guys can play a part in this as well. So please, 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 in the comments, let me know your picks on which albums that have come out in 2025 that you feel haven't got enough credit, or you just love them and feel that we should all check them out. So please, please, please let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on new music. And hopefully if enough of us leave comments, we can learn all kinds of new bands and it'll be a great time. So please, please, please leave those comments. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button. For those of you who have already hit subscribe, thank you very much. It truly means a lot. And it just means everything having you guys in this community with me. And so with that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.